5 minutes.
Yes, Chairman Pringle, before it started, there's a new member who joined the table next to Councilor Chin. Who is she? City lawyer. Okay, so we have 3 lawyers now in the table? 2.
Well, you're not including me. No, Miguel's just showing respect. He's just going to sit. Thank you very much, Miguel. I appreciate it.
I've been trying to apply for this
Normally I
board.
don't admit to being a lawyer, but today I will, just so I'm counted. Thank
How
you.
many
trying to apply
lawyers
for
does
this
it take
board.
to change a light bulb?
Okay, all right. Whew, my goodness.
Okay, Miguel, I'll start over again.
Okay, start over again. Thank you. First and foremost, I want to say that the recommendations that you, Mr. Pringle, you making perhaps can be tweaked around a little bit. In the area of financial implication is something that really concerns me, because probably you remember I being always making mention that the absence of accessibility devices for people who come welcome to the butte, but they don't have access to an overhead. I know there is a podium, and I would like to check it for your interest.
Miguel, it works. We've used it before. Don't worry.
There is a podium, right? Now, if I have a mobility disability issue, how can I reach it? The podium, and if I want to communicate to you, I've been using a lot of photocopies, and this should make it some. You can go further to make accommodations to the public. We don't have Wi-Fi. I always inquire why the board, this public space, doesn't have Wi-Fi. It's something that can I understand. Another thing is that perhaps you can be proactive in the way that we can acknowledge the land of where we're sitting today. City Council approved the recognition of First Nations land. However, this board does not make any mention absolutely at the beginning of each meeting. So I want to make a recommendation that perhaps it's time to add on to the opening of the ceremony to recognize that we're sitting on the land of Mississaugas, the First Nation, etc., etc. It is common knowledge. It is something that is not going to cost a lot of money. It's something very simple. And
That also doesn't require any change to the procedure. That's a good point. You're quite right, and I think we should do it. So but that's not a question for the procedures. But sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So my concerns again is in the issue of accessibility for members of the community who have mobility issues, hearing they need hearing devices or visual things to convey your message to you. I have shirts, I have no problem. I have no mobility issues. I can bring shirts all the time. I can bring banners, but according to the new procedure, it says that we cannot bring signs and placards. But it's not my intention, really. It's not my intention to bring a sign. Like last time my brother says, do not give more money to the police board. I could just put it on the, Mr. Mayor, you know that we have this kind of, Councilor Cheek. That's the only way we can communicate to you by way of showing rather than speaking. Sometimes speaking does not provide the whole picture, of the problem that we face every day. So that will be all that I had to say today.
Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you.
Questions, Shelley?
Yeah, can I just ask, Miguel, are you concerned? I'm wondering if we're reading it 2 different ways. When I read the issues with placards and such, that was inside the boardroom, but quite apart from your deputation. If you brought a visual presentation to go along with your deputation, a laptop or something like that, I didn't read that we wouldn't be accommodating those within your 5 minutes. We would still be accommodating those, would we not? If someone as part of their 5 minutes just wanted to, here's my PowerPoint I would like to show you in my 5-minute deputation. Because if that's,
I think we try to accommodate as much as we can.
If I've misread it, if that's forbidden, then I have an amendment to make.
I think we accommodate as much as we can, but we have said things that are a demonstration. Now we let Miguel come in and talk about the shield.
But if Miguel
3
wants to
meetings
show
ago?
us he's got an iPad there. If he wants to show us a PowerPoint on the computer in this day and age.
Can we, yeah. Can we
Right, so that's
accommodate
quite
that,
different.
John?
I understand the placards over there, that we have the same rule in the council chamber.
Yeah.
So, we're not veering. But if you're making a 5-minute deputation and you want to include technology in your deputation, I really think we ought to be able to accommodate that in the new millennium.
I don't think this is preventing that. I do think the technology might prevent that. Joanne, I turn to you. And
Well, don't get me started on the technology in this room, but whatevs.
It's not intended to prohibit the things that you're concerned about.
Right.
It's similar to the council.
Right. So the issue right now is the design of the room. The procedural bylaw is not going to prohibit that. Okay. So if, as part of the transformational task force, we wanted to transform the ability for, say, me to plug in my iPad right now, which I can't, or Miguel to give a presentation with a BlackBerry or an iPad Pro like the chief has right here, we would make that possible. All right. Okay. Thank you. I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Very well.
any other questions for Miguel? Miguel, thanks. Derek.
And you have 5 minutes.
Thank you.
And I'll give you the 1-minute warning sign.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, thanks for the opportunity to address the board again. I just want to show you that on page number 3 of your executive summary, page number 3 shows a police officer, and he's playing with a youth. That's fine. However, he's holding he have a gun, a duty gun of service. So my question is, are we doing anything positive by somehow encouraging you people that it's okay to have guns? You know, and that discussion came about when the Humber College came to Regent Park. Humber College and the research group came to us, and we have a very rich engagement conversation about the community policing, which is the foundation of the future of the police. One of the questions that were asked, have you noticed the community police office in the community? The answer was overwhelming, no. How do we know them? Well, they wear the same blue army uniform, but if they were wearing a different attire, so they can be easily recognized as part on the community, it will be wonderful. But we tried that before using the logic of the mobile crisis units. We talked to your members on the white chairs over there. We told it, can we change the uniforms to white? And the answer was plain simple, no. We like to have our color that represents an army that is occupying City of Toronto, a blue uniform. So one of the questions that they were asking the community, the surveyors to us, what do you think that the police can do in the community? Well, one of my comments was, you know, the horses, the mount units, they leave a lot of shit on the streets. So I wonder, our community police officers, they can, you know, be giving a spoon and a shovel to pick up the litter, because, you know, they stay there for day, and it stinks in the summertime. So maybe this is one of the duties you can give into them. All right. Another thing that I suggested is the creation of satellite stations. Well, we don't have the money apparently, but we can shut down 51 division and create micro division units across Jamestown, Moss Park, and Regent Park. Another thing I want to say is that the $100 million savings of this report is a fantasy. I am not very optimistic on the leadership. We have heard from people that the leadership to undertake this huge project requires people who were not able to submit to the demands of the police union. As you know, 2018, they're going to have a new collective agreement contract. They're going to demand that those 410 positions they get reinstated. They're going to demand this, they're going to demand that. So it is a joke that we're going to believe that this district court will come to fruition one day. I got to tell you one thing. I believe this is fake news. You know, not fake news. Because we know, with those who have come to this board many, many times, we don't see nothing happening. It will be deleted, it will be removed, it will be put to the back burner, and we will not see the savings that we're expecting. I'm glad that poverty reduction strategy has come today, but I would have appreciated that more members of the poverty reduction strategy will come here today and let you know how much people with minorities and racialized communities are being treated by the police officers. And last but not least, the pensioners, the work of watching our potholes should be handed over to two members of the community who are struggling to live day by day, and they need a good job, especially our youth and our adults. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Miguel, thank you. Colleagues, any questions?
Good news is, Miguel, that there will be, as I said, to a portion of the reports going forward. So we hear in May for the first one, the chief, that you'll see the progress being made as a report that get adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see you then. Comment on that.
I would like to see the numbers, the budget numbers. Yeah, that will be important.
Councilor, anything? Sorry, yes. Colleagues, any other questions for Miguel? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Last deposition is Chris Langhoff.